Hello and aloha to all the Baha'is, non-Baha'is, everyone on the planet. Time is 4:13, today is 13th of May, Sunday. I am at home and I'm going to continue this blessed Mathnavi of Baha'u'llah to explain. Last time we saw Baha'u'llah explained the power of his revelation. There was few times before, and the last 2-3 times I brought the subject of the will and free will and how Baha'u'llah was disturbed and perturbed and literally worried about the cause of God and about himself. Last time he explained what his revelation was compared to the past dispensations, the highest stake in the affair of God with man, the Baha'i faith. Today we're going to bring a few lines here, which is addressing us and calling everyone in the planet to join him and explain that this is a love affair with God. And there are a few points that we could explain here. So he begins with Bi saro bi jan biao dar kuye yar. Bi means without, sar means head. He says without head, headless, decapitated. And be John, lifeless. Be without John, lifeless. Bia, come in the place of the beloved. Bisaro Bijan means without head and without life. Well, of course you will be dead if you have no head and you have no life, then you can't come there. But Baha'u'llah is trying to say that, it's a Persian way of talking, that you have to be fully renounced from all the material attachment. Literally, he says, you have to be without it to come here. You can, as I said, the Baha'i attachment is that you could use everything in this world, from having a wife to having $1 million car, doesn't matter. But be a user and do not be a possessor. Or if you possess, understand the order of priority. To begin with, the whole thing is transient. The whole thing is in this life is a matter of transferring. It's like you're traveling in a car and you're trying to possess things. You know, you will get down to the destination soon and everything seems that you own in this train or plane or car is actually was temporary. So Baha'u'llah says, if you're thinking you can come to me alive, attached to everything in the world and have me beside it, that is not possible, he says. If you want to come to us, he says, be detached. The next line he says, Ta shavi, till you become maqbool, accepted, ahle India, the denizens of this country, denizen of this zone, this land. If you let go of your life and what is desirable to you in the life, then you can come here. That is how the people around here, he says, they accepted you. Maqbul means accepted, Ahl means denizens, citizen, the people of India, this country. This line reminds me of a line that Baha'u'llah had sometimes a fellow, if I'm right, by the name of Mirza Mohit. Bob actually sent a letter, a special tablet to this fellow. He never accepted it. Risaliya Bain al-Haramain, the epistle of between the two shrines. That's the name of the epistle. But this man did not really accept it. And other time when Baha'u'llah comes in, he decides to come with Baha'u'llah, with another prince, somebody related to the kingdom. He wants to come to see Baha'u'llah, and but he wants this to be private, so no one knows that he came, because he was afraid that if he come down there and people they know he has seen Baha'u'llah, he might lose his status and all his wealth and everything that he belonged in Iran, because very easily there was rumors if somebody would see Baha'u'llah in Iran, especially if it was a high, was a rich guy or somebody very famous. So Baha'u'llah tells him, no, you can't come here. This is not a game. We are not entertaining, people to just come here and ask questions or try to, basically as a matter of entertainment, to see us. We don't accept. The similar line, he tells him that, I can't remember the poem right now, but it is the same way. It goes, I think, گر خیال جان و دل هستد، گر خیال جان و سر هستد به دل اینجا میا، بر نثار جان و تن داری بیا و هم بیامور. He says to him basically, if you're thinking of have life around me, thinking about what your life is and your comfort zone, do not come here. But if you like to give it away and sacrifice your life, come here. And of course the guy didn't show up, but it is a reference to that. So he's talking to us, But then he turns this right now, in the next line, talks to Jesus. Is this to Jesus? Of course Jesus is not. Jesus is a prophet of God. But he's referring to that power of Jesus Christ, that power of Baha'u'llah, that power of Muhammad is within us. You see, he's addressing that one, because that's the only one that it can come to him. The rest of it is transient. He says, Vadi ishq ast, Vadi ishq ast, Ruhullah biya. Vadi means the valley, like seven valley. Valley of love is. This is the valley of love. Ishq means love and Vadi means valley. Ruhullah means the spirit of God. Ruhullah, just like Baha'u'llah. Ruhullah means the spirit of God. It's the title of Jesus Christ in Islam. Muslim, they call him Ruhullah, means the spirit of God. It says it is the valley of love. Ruhullah, the spirit of God. Jesus, come, bia. با صلیب از راه و هم بیره بیا. با صلیب, with a cross. Salib means cross. With the cross from the path and also without path, come. So this is the valley of love. Jesus, come, or Ruhullah, the Spirit of God, come. This is a reference in a way to Jesus, not to the name of the Jesus is involved, and the Salib, which is cross, but is actually addressing to the us, to the power that is within us, on the very, innermost gift of God, that he says that, I explained this to you before, that he wants it not to go into any araz, into any change. That one, that purity, that is belong to us. From there you can come to us. So he says, come without the cross that you carry, or from the cross and the path, or without the path. Come. You could be on the path of Christianity or without it, but just come, he says. Then goes to the Muslims. He says از فلک بگذر هم از معراج جسم. As falak means from the heaven. This falak is an actual heaven that we have, like galaxies, from material heaven. As falak from material heaven, bogzar, leave. Ham also as from mi'raj jes. Mi'raj is the ascendancy of the body ascending up. He says these are not what the truth is. This is a reference of mi'raj. Mi'raj is a reference to the huge Islamic doctrine that is a reference to the chapter called Israel. This chapter of Quran, Israel, or the son of Israel, is a reference to where Muhammad actually was lifted on a special bird named Buraq with the angels of God around him. Or Saint Michael, I don't know, Saint Gabriel, and Seraph, which I don't know what you call it in Christianity, but it's called Israfil. They were along him, setting him on the Buraq, and he came from Mecca. He went all the way to Nazareth, where Jesus is, and he went to Mount Sinai, where Moses was, and he prayed there. And from there, Gabriel takes him on this Buraq, and he goes to the seven heaven. Heaven 1, heaven 2, heaven. In every heaven, certain event happens. And even he's put to test. That's pretty crazy. Muhammad cannot be put to the test. But they tell him, no, you passed the test. They offer him, I think, milk and water and wine. And Muhammad accepted the milk. They told him you passed. If the water it was that you chose, you would have been, your nation would have been drowned. And if you took wine, you would all go, corrupted. But you took milk, therefore you're this and that. The whole story is childish. It's clearly revealed and written for the people at the time who do not have the concept of an adult man. Therefore, God speaks like a mother speaks to a child, like a lullaby, to put him to sleep. It might be meaningless, but is understandable to the child at the time. So Baha'u'llah says this is a story of Muhammad on this bird going up to seventh heaven and all that. It's absolutely has a meaning to it. It is not what you think it is, because ascendancy, which is mi'raj, ascendancy, ascending, does not happen with the body. It is a matter of the spirit and the spirituality. So he says to the people of the Muslim background, leave these things, he says. Leave this falak as you think it is the actual galaxies that you have to pass from one to another. That's nothing to do with the spiritual ascendancy. Ham also as from mi'raj, the ascendancy of the body, which was referred to Muhammad. Just leave those things alone. Then he calls the same person who tells him pass these things, he calls him a toshaw hejaw no ham behau jejez. Very amazing. He tells him leave these things. That means you're ignorant, you don't know. But he calls him at the same time, you are you Shah Hejan, the king of the spirit. Ham also behau jejez, the happiness. Behaj means the happiness, exuberance of the body, not the body, the exuberance of the body. That's a spiritual. So basically, based on this, we could have something in us that if we turn it around and activate it, we are the king of the spirits. We and God become one. But meantime, that is not activated, and we're thinking about the ascendancy of the body and this and that. So he says, leave those things alone. This line is particularly interesting. Very interesting. He says, Bulbul Ruhi, you are the nightingale of the spirit. Bulbul is nightingale, ruh, spirit. To, you. Bar, on the. Gulzar, ruh, the garden of the spirit. You are the nightingale of the spirit. On the garden of the spirit. Baz mi aayi, you will come again. Baz mi aayi, you will come again. To mihmandar ruh. To you, mehmandar means the host. Even the airplane, a host is called mehmandar. If I go to somebody's house, he will be the mehmandar, the host. Mehmandar ruh. You will be coming. You will come again. The host of the spirit. Sometimes there are lines in the Baha'u'llah's writing that its real meaning would be fulfilled after many, many years. This Bulbul-e-Ruhi could be the name of the next prophet of God. Her name would be Bulbul, nightingale. And she is known as Ruhi, the last name. I have a vision that a woman, somewhere from in England, some 1,650 years from Baha'i era, that will be the next manifestation of God. And her message is nothing but art. She's the greatest singer and dancer and a writer and poetry and painting. She's just such an artist that's unbelievable. So Bulbul-e-Ruhi, Bulbul-e-Ruhi becomes her name. Bulbul-e-Ruhi tobar gulzar-ruh. You are the nightingale of the spirit in the garden of the spirit. You will come again to be the host of the spirit. You see, it's the future in it, these two lines. But right now also implies to us that in the garden of the spirit, we people are that nightingale, and we have to come to be the guest of the host of the spirit. Okay. Sa'id Shah maskanat ey baz jan. Sa'id is the wrist. This is the wrist. Shah is the abbreviated form of Shah. I've written it with one A, so you say Shah, don't say Shah. Shah means the same. Shah in the poem, poetry, they abbreviated. Sa'id Shah, the wrist of the king. Maskanat is where you stand, where you live. A baz jan, O falcon. Baz means falcon. O falcon of the spirit. O falcon of the spirit. Your place is on the wrist of the king. So Baha'u'llah says we are like that falcon. The king, the God, we sit on his wrist. Suye maqsad ay, inja raigan, suye. Towards destination I come, inja here, raigan, free of charge. It says come freely to your destinations. So the whole thing is really an invitation that has 2 points to it. Point one is that we have to be detached, an element of the detachment. And the second point is that we should also get rid of this wrong ideology, thinking that ascendancy is... So you do need a right ideology and a right philosophy, but also you have to be detached. I have spoken about detachment many, many times. The biggest detachment of a man today in our century, especially among the Baha'is, is to be detached from your opinion. If you like to be attached to your opinion, then don't talk about it to nobody. Keep it inside, like an antique. But if you talk about it and bring it up, remember, it's a fair game. People listen to it. They like to oppose it. They like to perfect it. They like to add to it. And they like to criticize it. You have to be ready. If you're attached to it, you suffer. In the Baha'i faith, the clash of the opinion is allowed. Let the opinion fight with each other. Not the clashes of the individual. That is not acceptable. Because I say something today, I might change my mind tomorrow. What is the point you're fighting with me and saying that this and that about me? You just have to agree or disagree with my opinion. My opinion, I have to be detached from it. If I cannot be detached from it, then I suffer. That's the greatest measure of detachment. We should learn a little bit about this from the scientist. Wasn't the Einstein who apologized twice? He thought the world is static, and scientific evidence, including by Edwin Hubble from America, the lawyer who became an astronomer later on, they found out through the Doppler effect, they call it, that there is a red shift on his instrument, that all these galaxies are showing red, meaning the frequency is going higher and they're going away, their world is expanding. Which I not exactly agree with it, but that's what he saw. And when I brought matter to Einstein, Einstein said that, I was stupid. I didn't know this. I thought the world is static. Can't we people that we are into the religion and into the ideology of God and this and that be able to act like scientists? Very easily to say, oh, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Why can't we? Why are we so much attached to our ideas, which really becomes the dogma? We go close around ourselves with certain ideology, open the window of our head out, and we say to the people, they're all wrong, I'm right, I'm here. We don't let anybody in. They become dogmatic, you see. Dogma, which is our own made. This is the biggest and the worst things that we have towards the attachment. We have to detach, ourselves. Another huge degree of attachment that I haven't said before, I say today, for mankind is to be detached, is sex. With the sex, which is nothing but eating and sleeping and using the bathroom, sex is the same thing. It's another thing that we do, the four things that we do. To sex, though, so much of our characters, our philosophy, our everything is attached. We don't have that much of an attachment towards the food that we eat. Food we eat, but it is not a part of our philosophy, for the most part. Or sleeping, where I sleep, it has to be like this, it has to be like that. Or the bathroom. But when it comes to sex, all this religion, all this ideology, all this character, all this exuberance, all this hurting, it seems the entire mankind is just attached to this act of sex. Mankind, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to sex, is still wearing diaper. He's not able to be detached. In the West, partially people are, very partially. I say to the people, my daughter, my mother, and my sister is my blood. I have, attachment to her. My wife is not. I've not made her, she's made herself. So if I come home and I see that she's sleeping with somebody else, why should I go kill myself or kill her? Just say goodbye and leave without getting hurt. Person broke the contract. That's it. Why so much of our pride, our characters attached to it? It has to be surgically removed. It's like the meat attached to the bone. You have to search. That is a sign, in my opinion, of the growing of humanity, that in the future, as much as an importance they give to sex, but they look at it exactly like eating and sleeping and using the bathroom. There's nothing bigger than that. If things falling on the ground, you don't eat it. You don't drink off the toilet. You have to eat and drink in a proper plate in a certain area that you like. Same as the sex. You can't have it from downtown. You might get AIDS. You can't steal food from your neighbor while you can't steal somebody's wife. It's different. But it's not more than that. So this is a second degree of detachment. We have to just grow up to detach from our opinion and ideology, from sexuality. We have to be detached. We should not attach so much culture to it. It's the sign of a person not grown up. Not. And then if we get rid of this 2 point really, a lot of our problem is solved. We have then wear a shield. We will not be attacked. The virus will not go into our brain and our system and our life. So all of this is that Baha'u'llah says you are the very king inside you. You are that falcon that is living with the king himself. You got to do 2 things. You have to be detached. The element of those 2 to start with. Detach from your opinion, your ideology, and also your sexuality. Do not attach so much culture to it. You do these things, but have also a right philosophy. Okay? You have to have a right philosophy. You cannot be like Muslim thinking that, oh, the Mi'raj of Muhammad was that he actually sat in there and he went to 7 heaven. Well, that is stupid. Stupid now. It wasn't stupid another time. Like the teacher says, 2 plus 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 2, I don't know, becomes 20. To grade 1, grade 2. Now you're in grade 3, it says, boy, there is something else called multiplication. 10 times 2 is 20. Well, to a person who's adult, if you teach him mathematics like that, 1 plus 1, 1 plus 1, 1 plus 1 to get a million, it looks stupid because it's out of time and out of place. These ideas that are in the Bible and the Islam, they're not stupid at their time, not at all. Why? Because they did their mission, they brought mankind further ahead. This apocalypse in the Bible has been the mother of all the books that has been written. You know, how beautiful is the book of Christmas Carol of Charles Dickens, or Les Miserables of Victor Hugo. Those books have actually helped mankind to grow. They're all coming from that book, Apocalypse. Those things was made for imagination to widen. Same as stories in Islam. But of course now we're grown up. So Baha'i faith, Baha'u'llah is telling us, Sawad Shah, you're that close to God that you can sit on his wrist. That's close, eh? Very close. So the whole theme, again, was two things. First, detachment and purity. Or if you're attached to the material ideas, they are like weight on your body. You can't fly. But my body has a lot of weight on it, it can't fly. My airplane will fall down. My balloon will come down. I have to throw the weight out. A spirit is the same thing. If it has a lot of wrong ideas on it, materially, you know, above the material level, or the material understanding, it makes the spirit not to be able to fly. You have to throw it down. So we do have to have that, and we do have to have the right philosophy, which is based on the science and logic, as Baha'u'llah says. Examine things and then, if you like, believe in them. Or simply leave the belief alone and say that I'm a scientist, I recognize things. Today is this, tomorrow something else. Whatever comes, scientifically I accept. Very well, my dear friend. Another session is done, and we will continue till the end, which is very near.